What if you were to listen to an internationally acclaimed, multi-award-winning illusionist, and he had something far more to say than, "Watch this trick"? Rick Thomas is that performer, ready to go far beyond his magic and far beyond your imagination as he shares secrets regarding our dreams. Dreams that can become reality. The future belongs to those who believe in the strength of their dreams. Dreams pass into the reality of action. From the action stems the dream again. And this interdependence produces the highest form of living. Join Rick and his co-host, award-winning broadcaster Tammy Trujillo, for Nothing Happens Until You Dream. Indulge your mind and take a journey never to be forgotten. A journey connecting all of our dreams as we chase them together.
Rick, there's that phrase, be careful what you wish for. Have you heard that one?
Yeah, I say it all the time. Constant in my own personal life, non-stop. Uh-huh. And in fact, that was a dear friend of mine, Lance Burton, who had said it to me in a whisper when we were in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. He over at the Monte Carlo and I at the Tropicana, and I was talking to him about the Mansion of Dreams, and his words to me after succeeding at the Monte Carlo, a huge grand contract, presenting a show nightly in this amazing theater, and said, be careful what you wish for.
Mm-hmm. I saw that show and it was amazing. He's a pretty fantastic performer. But, people don't understand that phrase because they think, if I wish for it and I get it, I'm going to be super happy.
Nope. Can I say that again? No.
Neon light exclamation point.
Yeah.
Because you never know what it is until you have it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know what? Life is the same for all of us. It really is. I know that I'm diving into this today right from the beginning. There's a lot to listen to and at least embrace. All those listening to this. This is a big deal, this chapter,
yeah, it is.
This podcast. I was listening to the news this week, and they had Keanu Reeves interviewed. Mm-hmm. And he's a pretty casual guy. He's on the outside looking in to Hollywood. But at the same time, everything that he's been part of, he has prospered massively. He does great, but at the same time, he lives a very casual life. He's in jeans, t-shirt. He's not, he doesn't flaunt his stuff, so to speak.
Never.
But what was fascinating about the conversation and what I picked up about it was with all of his success and everything that he has, his words rang true to me this week. And it was, I believe he said, I'm 60 or something to that effect, close to that. Mm-hmm. And he said, every day I think of death. And it was a weird moment. He goes, it's what I think about. And they were looking at him, and he goes, no, seriously, I every day I think of death. And he says, I realize that every day is one day closer to being gone, being out of here. And it wasn't about his wealth. It wasn't about his successes. It was about life in general. And yes, he's enjoyed his life, but at the same time, it bothered him so much that that's simply what he said. And I said, man, after all the things you think you do in life, after all the successes you have, the one thing that, of course, he just doesn't want to give up on is life itself, not the shows, not the successes, life.
Existing.
And it was just like, it's like that big glowing. I'm saying, thank you, Keanu. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Sadly, you don't want to think about death every day.
No.
Because it sounded so morbid the way he said it, but I understood. I was one of those, man, I get it. Because you start counting. You start counting the days because you and I, we both realize, and I'm not saying you're elderly.
Well, no, we're the same age about.
We're aging. And you start seeing the other end of that spectrum. And he is too. And he's realized, okay, I've had a great life. I've done this and that. And they asked him about Matrix and he said, absolutely, it is the pinnacle of success. And he knows that without that show, he wouldn't be what he is today as a star. But his conversation was, I think about death every day. I said, okay.
Well,
and he's not out there counting the pennies. He just needs to enjoy life. This chapter, The Cost of Success, wanting, wishing, hoping, thinking that the goals that you're trying to obtain is going to bring you your greatest joy. I know there's joy there. And in fact, I have had great joy in the accomplishments that I've had.
Right.
But you start realizing that life is fragile.
Uh-huh. And there are some things that are maybe sometimes a little more important than the success.
That's right. Be
But,
careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. and it does seem really, really of an odd concept because, you go to school or you practiced your brains out learning your magic, and you think all that yields this result and that's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, I mean, I've worked since I was a kid. I've worked since I was 2. I started working when I was 2.5 years old in entertainment, and I kept putting these goals ahead. And on the way, other things kind of got dropped by the wayside that now, when I'm a little bit older, I'm thinking, gee, I should have made time for that and for that and for that. And now, unfortunately, because I have the same clock that Keanu has and that you have and that everybody has, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't think there's time for that. There's just not as many days on the calendar left.
Oh, well, here's the deal. We are diving into this so fast. We need to backtrack just a little bit. I mean, just a tad. I mean, I jumped ahead and just said, hey, look, I'm going to talk about things that affected me this week. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's great. But I also want people to realize that you do need to follow your dreams, and they do need to be a success. So I'm going to share with you the front side of this chapter and podcast. Mm-hmm. And that is getting to the point where you realize that, again, there is a cost to success. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I want you to follow your dreams.
Oh, absolutely. Not saying don't do it.
So people are like, what am I supposed to do? Just chill?
No.
Sometimes, and I tease often with this, and this is not against those that work with me in my show, but how often sometimes I say, I wish I walk into the theater and I do my show as they do, and they walk back out and continue on with their lives without having to deal with everything else that I deal with the show. But then again, I have to realize that they have lives as well, and everybody is struggling in some way or form, and it's not all about me. So that being said, let me just go straight to the front side of this thing. There is a statement that I've made often in my career, and that is, anybody can do a trick, but very few people can perform magic. And my point is I have so many people. You can go to the magic shop. You can easily go out there and you can buy a magic trick, and you can practice it for a few minutes and then present it to somebody. It can absolutely be horrible. It can absolutely be you've just exposed it to the world, or you actually fooled them in some way or form. Mm-hmm. But when I say that very few people perform magic, the basics behind it is very few people are willing to give it everything they've got to be better than the rest. Mm-hmm. There needs to be a wow factor. And it does not happen when you just buy something off the shelf and go, ta-da, here you go, I'm amazing, applaud, et cetera, et cetera. The reason I have magicians constantly, Rick, how did you make it? How'd you get there? The answer back, you don't want to know. Mm-hmm. And the only reason is because so often there are people that give up way too soon before they hear the applause at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I think one of the problems is, and I think you've even found this out with your radio show of late, is the people who do it well make it look so terribly easy. Mm-hmm. That other people are fooled.
I have no life. I thought I had no life with just the mansion and dreams. Now I have. And this is the problem: the cost of success. What are the costs? What's going to happen when you do this? Now, I fell into this because I truly believe it's two phases with the radio. I love the industry. I love broadcast, and it is part of my industry. Yes, I'm live on stage, and now I'm live on the radio. It's just being part of the industry and learning everything that I can about it. And second of all, it gave me a chance to promote my show.
Of course.
Hey, this is Rick Thomas. I'm an illusionist. I have a show here every day here in Branson, Missouri. You're going to come to my show. Whatever you're doing tonight, cancel it. You're coming to the show. You're coming to see me. I am it.
But you have discovered now that a radio show, a 3-hour radio show, Seems pretty simple, right? Go on the air for 3 hours, talk about stuff. Okay. Hey, I can do that. Takes an inordinate amount of work every week.
If you want it to be of any worth.
Well, yeah, and if you don't, if you don't make it worth something, there's not much use in doing it. That's kind of one of my mantras.
Absolutely, bravo. So and I have listened myself, really more so than I have in the past, to those that are on the radio, and I say, wow, they didn't give too much time into that one, or and I've become a horrific critic, and I apologize for those out there that are on the radio.
No, I do the same thing.
I try to bring the personal side into it. I try to bring stories. The whole idea behind the magic of dreams is to share my dreams with the world and dreams of other people as well, and talk more so about real stories, things that changed a person's life, including myself. And yeah, there are a lot of stories I have to share. I have a book that I wrote about it. But to keep those stories alive and to keep them going, and you start ticking off the stories you've talked on the radio, you realize I'm running out of stories, right?
Somehow I don't think you'll ever run out of stories.
No, I'm good. I'm good with that. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to save this one to next week or whatever it may be.
But you're learning what it takes to put together what seems like a very simple thing. And until we actually do something, we really don't know what goes into it. And I think that's where a lot of people get hung up, because they're like, wait, this isn't as easy as I thought. But before we go more into topic, I want people to know where the show is and how they can listen, because you don't just have to be in Branson to hear the show.
No, it is actually komc.com/player, and you can listen to it worldwide. I repeat again, komc.com/player, PLAYER, and go online on the web and listen to everything. There are people that are on the stream on Facebook. They can go to KOMC on the Facebook or my own personal Facebook to stream, and people are frustrated because we're streaming, and then all of a sudden I get people I don't hear the music. I don't hear anything. Why is it dead? The stream allows people to text me and talk to me off the air, to discuss things that you're not going to hear on the air. Just say hi, that kind of thing. We're not allowed to play music on Facebook. Right. There's no licensing. So I can talk all I want, and that's live on the stream. But the moment the music plays, it goes to the web. So if you do want to listen, once again, that's komc.com/player, and enjoy the entire show. And then if you want to talk to me personally, that's where you go on the stream. Facebook.com/Rick Thomas Magic. There you go. I'm getting better at all these things.
Yes, you are.
I before, like I said, I don't know how to get a hold of me.
Well, I will tell you, on that very first day, I was struggling to find it too, because, I don't do that kind of radio. I do news. It's all very, very simple and laid out. And I haven't done a show where I've had the internet aspect in a lot of years. So I was digging around for it too. We've got all the links you need. They're in the show notes for every episode of the podcast. So you don't have to do any scrambling. It's all right there. And you can just go and enjoy the show, because the show is only about 6 weeks old. It is coming along. You've really embraced it. You've nailed it, I think. And it's only going to get better. But you see, it's taking a nice little chunk out of your time.
That's right. And it's always changing. But so people want to know maybe the inside track on this. We did pretty good at the intros and some of the tidbits that are spread throughout the segment. But I don't have an outro yet. So I'm working with Eric Chase, the guy who does much of my voice work, to take me out. So at the end of the 3 hours, you've been listening to Rick Thomas and the Magic of Dreams. I haven't done that. In fact, today I'm going to be writing that script. So there you go. It is constant.
And Eric's the guy who voiced the intro and outro to the podcast.
Absolutely.
That's why it sounds so darn great.
An exceptional job at that.
Yeah.
So deeply appreciated. Eric is loved. I was performing out in Guam many, many, many years ago, and he was a voiceover for a few of the casinos in Las Vegas, and I had heard his voice, and I tracked him down. Actually, the Sandcastle in Guam had used him for a bit of their commercial space, and they had just bounced around at a whole bunch of different sounds, and I got a hold of Eric, and he has now been my voice forever, and I don't change it. It's on the edge of reality and fantasy, where
agree.
sometimes the voice can be so fantasy oriented that is so fake, right?
Yes.
And I am very careful with that to make sure that he has that. You can listen to him and you're like, what? It works.
Yeah.
It's not just fabricated.
No, he's fantastic. His production work is great, and that's why I love the intro and outro to the podcast. When I'm doing our production on it, our post production, I listen generally to the intro and outro. It's like how many episodes now? 40, 47, 48.
47.
I still like it.
Yeah, that's great.
I still love listening to it. So yeah, that'll be the perfect bookend to the show to have it end as strong as it opens. I love that idea. I'm glad you're going there.
Yep. We'll get there today. I promise. After I finish mowing my lawn.
Oh, okay. So the lawnmower right now is...
The lawnmower is sitting halfway.
Oh my goodness.
Through the lawn. Now, literally, I can see the line where I stopped. I know the tree that I have to head towards. And I stopped, ran in here to do the podcast. And once completed, I'll go out there and finish the lawn and then get on with my day. So just so you guys know, I mean, we're all pretty busy, but at the same time, podcast is pretty important.
And if you wonder why is Rick talking about mowing his own lawn, that is in a previous episode. Please go back and listen to it because he's not kidding. He's not kidding. He mows his own lawn. I have a gardener, but he's out there with the mower, and there's a reason behind it. You got to go back and check out that episode.
And it's good. It's good. It's a great day for me.
It really is. But to get back to the concept of be careful what you wish for. You have now a radio show, which is a wonderful thing. Many, many people say they wish they had a radio show, but you're seeing the price of it.
Yep. It's all right. We're good. I'm happy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm happy camper. And of course, one of my greatest prized possessions is this podcast right here. Kudos to Tammy. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
Your constant push and efforts on my behalf. There are times where I have waned in the process.
We all do that. We do.
And I needed to pick up and slap around. Rick, what are you doing? Well, part of it was just life got in the way.
Yeah,
we had a couple weeks, a few weeks where things didn't happen and life got in the way. So I'm back. We're back. And I hope that when you're listening to this podcast that it means something. This one, the cost of success. So first and foremost, you got to give it all you've got. You got to make sure that you're doing something beyond everybody else. My success was because Rick Thomas didn't quit and everybody else did. Okay. So when you are presenting, think about something that is in you, a personal skill, something that makes you different than everybody else. And put that into what you're doing. Make it yours. You know what? Oh man, I'm going to get slammed for this one. Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, I hate to say this here in Branson, but I have a plaque that I placed on my desktop on my computer. So it's not actually a printed but it is exactly what it needs to be. Is every day I click on it and it says, it is better to fail at originality than to succeed in imitation. Oh,
I like that. No, I like that.
I repeat it again. It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation.
What's that phrase? Imitation is the finest form of flattery.
Yes.
But what does it say about the person doing the imitating?
The easy way out?
Yeah.
So to speak.
Seriously.
And I say that there are some people out there that are absolutely amazing imitators.
Oh, yes.
There's no question about that. But I'm saying that there comes a point in your life where all of a sudden when you're imitating, and this is important, I did the same thing growing up doing my magic. I would watch a performance and then I would imitate the performance.
Of course.
And there came a time in my career when I said, wow, I need to make this about me. I need to make this about Rick Thomas. What makes it different? For me, one of the big parts of my show is everything I share in my show is the truth.
Right. It's your
I don't
story.
make up stories. I don't make up stories. You can see people perform and all of a sudden they they give you a story, and you really,
Yeah,
you can just tell that it's fabricated, right? And this comes from the heart. So I tell the audience, not only are you invited guests in the Mansion of Dreams, you're my friends, you're my family. And I want you to know that what I'm sharing with you is the truth. And then I tell them some really bizarre things that are true in my life that demonstrate to everybody that life isn't perfect, that the stories aren't all just, just beautiful endings and all that kind of thing, that you learn from those challenges. So with your efforts to follow your dreams, and Lance Burton saying the line that we've heard before, be careful what you wish for, what's that all about? Why does so many people, and a reason this was created to be is because I think that those that have succeeded, those that have gotten what they think they want in life, have realized it's not everything that you had hoped for.
Yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be, so to speak. I think a lot of people think once they hit their dream, once they accomplish it, then they get a free ride. Then they get to skate. And you can't skate.
Let me tell you the free ride with the Mansion of Dreams. So I have been presenting, or actually heading towards that one big goal and creating a show that was extremely unique to Rick Thomas, and that was the Mansion of Dreams. It has been my hope my entire life to create this production, and I finally accomplished that dream. And I present Mansion of Dreams, and I can tell you in honesty and in truth, it is a lot of work. When Lance Burton said, be careful what you wish for, he was right. It comes from what comes from accomplishing your dreams could also bring with it a lot more unforeseen problems in your life.
Oh, yeah.
And with the Mansion of Dreams, I have more cast members, more insurance, larger warehouses, greater responsibilities. And suddenly my wish, want, and desire for that one great dream of mine has taken me away from one of the greatest joys of my life. And that is just simply life itself, whatever it may be, family, freedom to do with what you want with your time. And I bring it up again, Keanu Reeves, with all of his successes, I can tell you when he said the statement, I think about death every day. It's that one thing. It's, man, I need my life. I need my freedom. I need to do what's right for me beyond my successes. They aren't that important. So when you do that and all of a sudden realize that my life and my freedom and everything that I have has been taken away from me because of the dreams that have been accomplished, you ask yourself, what was the cost? Was it worth it? The hard part is yes, I have to admit, it was worth it. It was a worthwhile experience. It was something that I needed to do with my life. It is everything I've wished and hoped for. At the same time, there is a balance. There is something that you realize that when you have done something like this, that the responsibilities have been massive and they continue to do so. And you need to find balance as fast as you can.
That is the hardest thing to do, though. I failed at that. I am a miserable failure at the balance part. I totally admit it. And now, again, all of us, Keanu, we got to start a club here or something. Because we're all in the same boat right now, I swear. Right. And I look back and I say, I wish I had taken time to do that or that or that. And unfortunately, there's not enough time now, or it's just an impossibility.
Yes, but you continue to do the same thing. You have none of us learn from our past.
Never.
Right now, I know for a fact, I know your life right now. You can't breathe.
It's
you
crazy.
Can't breathe.
It's upside down and crazy.
Yeah.
And I kind of came to a revelation about 6 months ago, and I was going to change it up a little bit and make some space for me, just me, just me, not Tammy Trujillo, just this person over here called Tammy. And so what did I do? I eliminated, or I'm in the process of very shortly, eliminating a 40-hour-a-week commitment. And that should do it, right? That ought to do it. What have I done? I have found, yes. Oh my God.
You filled in the blanks.
Yes, I have.
You filled them. Yeah.
I sure have. And I realized it the other night. I was just kind of sitting down contemplating everything. It had been a kind of a tough day. And I thought, wait a minute, what have you done? Yeah, you found this nice space, And now you've been junking stuff in it again. I don't mean junk stuff. I mean, but you've just been filling it up. And I thought, okay, girl, stop. So I'm kind of on hold right now with a bunch of projects because I just thought I'm just doing the same thing over in a different way. And I did it before I even knew I was doing it. Like,
I have my biggest problem, and I'm going to tell you with my life personally, is when I'm not doing anything, I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's no success there.
Right.
The joy, I can tell you now, and I'll have family saying, we don't believe this, Rick. We don't believe this statement. When I say, for me, spending time with my family is huge. Mm-hmm. And they go, we don't believe that. Because it's all about the Mansion of Dreams. It's all about the show. Mm-hmm. But in reality, it is in the back of my head, and it should be towards the front of my head. It is what I want in my life, but I don't let myself do it.
Correct.
The moment I am the worst person to go out and vacation with, because after the third day, I'm bonkers. I need to start doing something again with my life. I feel, and I think that's what it is as far as using that statement every day. I think about death. You start looking at your life and going, man, I haven't accomplished everything I've wanted.
Right.
I haven't done everything. I haven't followed my dreams the way is, and here it is. Once again, you just can't quit. So that secret of success is the balance, because your mind as a human is going to always continue to push you forward. Mm-hmm. And even though 1 or 2 days I am not doing something for the show, believe it or not, it's probably the best thing for me. And I fight constantly. So for those of you listening, however you're listening to this today, just know that I'm laying it out on the table. I really am telling you that I have the same problems. I have the same challenges. We all have the same desires. We have the same dreams. We have the same nightmares. And it is said over and over again, you got to find your balance. And it's not easy for me. It's not easy for Tammy. She has once again destroyed her life by putting way too much into her business and less into her animals. Yeah,
my animals. Or I realized something the other day, and we're at the almost into August here. Summer's halfway over, and I will have, if I don't do something very quickly, completed another successful summer of not going and spending even one entire day at the beach. Congratulations.
And you live there.
I do.
You live there.
I do.
As I've said to others, I performed at Disneyland for so many years. It was a great experience for me. And I began to realize by discussing it with other people working with Disney that there are those that live next to Disneyland their whole life and have never been there.
Nope.
They can walk across the street and they can go to Disneyland, and they haven't.
Nope. Haven't done it. And yes, I'm 20 minutes away from Malibu, a cool place to go if you want to go to the beach. And I think I would guess that this is going to be at least the 20th successful summer of not going to the beach.
See, that's the same with me when I had my home in Vegas, and I got to build my dream home. And with it, I built a dream pool. My pool had a jacuzzi with 3 waterfalls that fell into it, and they were heated waterfalls.
Oh, I didn't know
We had
that.
a slide in the rocks that went through the rocks into the main pool. Everything was surrounded. We had palm trees in the center of the pool, and it was stunning. It was built by the same builders that built the pool over at the New York in Vegas.
God. Oh, wow.
And I built this pool because my whole life I wanted a pool, and one that I could walk out from my home into the backyard, jump in the pool, and life was bliss. I can tell you with massive regret.
I know where you're going.
That I probably was in the pool 10 times.
I'm not surprised.
The whole time I had the home. Now, of course, we're in Branson now, but I can tell you the family enjoyed it.
Yep.
There were people and guests that came over and enjoyed it. And I built the pool for me, and I didn't enjoy it. I am so personally devastated that I sat there in my office 10 feet from the edge of my pool and didn't go in it.
I am not surprised at all. I'm not. I'm totally dismayed. You came to my house once in Altadena, and we went up to the pool house, and we had a meeting about a project that we were contemplating together. And I had that great big beautiful pool up there.
Yes.
I owned that house for 15 years. 2 times. 2 times in the pool. 2 times.
Okay. So people, are you listening?
Isn't that insane?
Well, there's a cost to success.
Yeah, I just never could get up there with enough time to go into the pool. And people say, how is that possible? All you do is walk out the backyard. All you had to do was open your French doors and step out, 10 feet and you would have gone splash. How could you not have those moments?
It's easy. Here's a funny way to make the statement. Succeed at something and then find out how much life you have with your success.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
There's it is. So, I can tell you this. I know that I've had discussions even with, Tara, my co-star of the show and, lovely wife. And she says, maybe we should just downsize. You do know that by the time that we present a show, just Tara and myself, and we can still do a massive show. We can do a beautiful show with the two of us. We eliminate the sets. We eliminate the cast, the crew. Now they're not, I can tell you I have a cast that's not very happy to hear this.
Yes.
And it's not something that we're just aiming towards, but you do have those thoughts. Make life simple. And go back to doing something and possibly even making a better profit at it. Every time I make a show that is bigger and better and grander, and I have that moment where, wow, look at me, I'm amazing. I bring less money to myself and more to others. Awesome. I'm taking care of a lot of families, but in the same time, I can't take care of my own.
Yeah, I've thought that too. I have thought about, okay, downsize this, downsize the house. Downsize the cars, make it simple, get a condo, one doesn't have a
downsize.
yard.
How many people, and I'm going to shout out to all those people who flat out know how many people wanted the big home. We all want that big home. We want the 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square foot home. And those movie stars who want 25,000 square foot homes. And at some given point, they move.
Yes.
We move.
Yes.
We downsize.
Because it's all a pain in the butt.
We say, what was I thinking? Right?
Yeah.
Now I can't go down to the mini houses. I mean, the ones where they're like a container, shipping container.
Forget what are they thinking? No, of course not.
But on the other side of it, if you think that your happiness is the bigger home, it's the massive pool. Your success is going to cause you to not enjoy those things of the world that you have worked so hard for, and oftentimes you realize that making life easier, downsizing a bit, stepping back a little bit, and enjoying more in life. Find a happy medium rather than going for the guts. Now, please. I'm not telling you to stop following those dreams. If that's what you want, you're going to do it. You're going to get it. And then you're going to go back to this podcast and go, oh, Lance Burton was right.
Yes. They told
what
me
you
so.
wish for. That's right.
But no, I was thinking the other night, I'd been cleaning the house. Not one of my favorite things to do in the world. And I started thinking about an apartment that I had in North Hollywood about 35 years ago. It was a loft apartment. And I could clean it in an hour. And I thought, I wish I had that apartment right now. And I loved that apartment, but it was really small. It was a loft,
Okay.
And I'm really thinking, I loved that apartment. I wish I lived there right now.
And the world is your oyster at the same time.
Yeah.
Now, I say this because here's a perfect example. I performed, get this, everybody sitting down? I've performed on over 300 cruises.
Oh, my goodness.
Across the world. Okay, so I've done a little cruising in my life.
Just a tad.
But I can also tell you that I've lived on the cruise ship in a small cabin as an entertainer. I've lived on cruise ships as a passenger, in the balconies, in the suites. And I kind of feel the cruise ship's the same kind of thing as life. It's awesome to walk into the suite and have that beautiful suite on the cruise ship. But I'm going to tell you this. The cruise ship is where you live your life. And no matter who you are and what cabin you're in, for the most part, we all enjoy the same cruise ship. Okay. So when you walk out of your cabin, whatever it may be, and live in the world around you, We all have the same joy right in front of us. And it's just, that's why they say the world is your oyster, right? So my point is you don't have to have that grand cabin on a cruise ship to enjoy life. And more so, once you have all of that, you really don't use it.
That's true.
Doesn't there also come a point, even when you're going to a hotel and you spend $100 on a room, or $500 on a room, or $2,000 on a room, or $5,000 on a room? How can you utilize $5,000 on a room and get your money's worth out of it?
No, because most of the time you use the room for one thing: sleeping.
That's right.
You're not
so
even
on a cruise ship,
conscious.
that's my point. So when you realize that if you want the best, yes, it's there. But at the same time, for the most part, we all get to enjoy the same great things in life in some way or form. Deep down inside, we're all the same. Deep down inside, we're living in an amazing world today, and it's just there for the taking. So enjoy the ride, find your space, be careful what you wish for. There is a massive cost to success, and at the same time, just enjoy it. Have at it.
Go for
and
it.
realize that there will be sacrifices.
Just go for it. I have never been on a cruise.
No way.
I have never been on a cruise. Never. You know, Randy, my husband, was in Sean and Awe for years and years. And they went on all these cruises. They played on the cruises all the time. And he was like, come on this cruise with me. No, I got to work. Come on this cruise with me. No, I got to go to the station. Come on this cruise with me. No, I got to this. Now Sean and Awe is no more. And if I've just shocked people, I'm really sorry. But Sean and Awe is no more.
Right.
They have retired officially. And I don't, they did it very quietly. So I'm not sure everybody knows that they are no more. They're all fine, by the way, but they just aren't performing any longer. But now I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you going on another cruise? I didn't get to go.
No. Yeah, but this time we're paying for it.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I never made time to go. And those are the things that I think Keanu is really talking about, is missing those opportunities, because you always think there's going to be another one. And for one reason or another, there may not be. So you got to grab them as they come. And that's just hard to do when you're so driven like you and I are. It's really hard to take the time out to do something other than the work thing. Very difficult. Got to work harder on this.
Well, with me, I always feel like life is passing me by. I'm missing something. That's why there's so many things in this podcast I'm sharing. And one of them is I don't sleep well. I don't sleep. I don't give myself the 7 hours that I'm supposed to give myself for proper health. 7? They say it's 7, right?
Yeah.
I don't even give myself 4.
I get 4.
4. Okay. And people say, nah, that's bogus. That's not, it's the truth.
It is the truth. Yeah.
I'm
me
not,
too.
you know what? I'm telling you the truth. I'm not hiding anything. I don't sleep well because my mind doesn't stop. And I think, I'm missing something. I'm not doing something I should be doing. And
I know,
man.
Well, it is the cost of success. And I bet you if you gathered up a whole bunch of really successful people across all kinds of different vocations, spheres, doesn't matter, not all entertainment. I bet you the really, really successful people are pretty much going to have the same story.
They don't sleep.
They don't sleep because they're always thinking. They're always coming up with something new. They're always trying something new. And I think they probably have thoughts like Keanu has it. And when they hit their 60s and plus, thinking, wait a minute. So I think probably the key is go for the success, go for the dream, but at the same time, slow down a little bit and have a life.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's.
Well, I am. I'm enjoying this very moment in the podcast. It gives me that chance. These moments are the ones where we beat each other over the head, right? And
totally.
say, it's not the people listening. If you guys get something out of it, great. But both Tammy and I are going to walk away from this podcast so thrilled that we had this discussion because we both needed it.
Yeah, I think we're both our own therapists nowadays.
For sure.
Oh my gosh. But it is true. Be careful what you wish for. It's not just some silly phrase somebody came up with. It really is a true statement.
Goodness.
Well, one thing you have to have in order to get what you wish for, and that would be Money.
I know. And that's the sad part about all of this. I think that part of being a human, this is fascinating to me also. I'll throw it in. I think there are certain things in life that we were born with to cause us to work. One is to feed yourself.
Yes.
Okay. If we didn't have to eat, think about it. If we didn't have to eat, what would we not be doing?
Oh, yeah.
Right? If we didn't have to have shelter over our heads to protect our bodies and survive, what would we not be doing? That'd probably be working.
I'd be at the
right?
beach.
So he would be at the beach just chilling out. Yeah. So I'm saying that I think that life and how it has been structured or created for us, or however you want to look at it, has caused us and causes us to do something, to be something, because you will not survive. So I think that that's key. So you need to eat. You need to put clothes on your back. You need to put shelter over your head. And in so doing, the success needs to be there. You need to take care of your responsibilities. And one is to make money. Yep. Sadly, that is the way that we in our society have figured out that's the way we're going to do it. And you almost don't have too much more of a choice.
No,
there are
really.
those out there that have made the decision. And one of those decisions that has been around for absolute ages, nonstop, even to this day, is gold. For some reason, the human race has embraced this metal as the greatest commodity to have in the world. And you've got to have it. You have to, and people have fought. Nations have crumbled because of it, have risen because of it. And the rich are hoarding it. Countries are grabbing it as fast as they possibly can. And you need some as well.
We're not talking just about gold jewelry. Let's make that clear. We're not. I mean, I love my gold jewelry. I've been into gold jewelry since I was a kid, and it's cool. I love it. But we're talking about gold coins. We're talking about gold. Good Lord, gold bars.
Yep, bullion itself. In fact, when it comes down to it, if there's a time when you need to sell your gold to survive, the jewelry will be melted down, and you'll get the actual weight value of it. It won't be per se the 1,000 or 2,000% above what gold is worth that you paid for your jewelry.
Right.
We pay more for it to be designed, but in reality, when you turn around and say, okay, what's it worth? It's really worth the weight of the gold.
But we don't want you to melt your jewelry.
Don't do it yet.
No, please don't.
Wear your jewelry in its glory.
Enjoy it. But there is a way to get gold and silver. And Rick, this is something that you actually have found the secrets to. These are secrets you will reveal of how you can do it. And it's, look at it as an insurance policy, really. Yeah. Which we all need. So all you have to do. Rick will tell you this, okay? He's not going to, he doesn't charge for the info. If you want to get that call from Rick, it's really, really simple. You go to mansionofdreams.net/wealth. Short form, fill it out, and at some point your phone is going to ring, and Rick is going to tell you the secret.
Ta-da.
Ta-da, it's that simple.
Yeah. Wow, this was really rough on me. I need to go spend some time with my family. I need to mow the lawn.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right.
You got to go finish your lawn first.
Yeah, got to go finish the lawn. Then my family will be happy.
There you go.
I have a wife who says, Rick, look at the back lawn. Okay, this will make you happy? Yes, go mow the lawn. So there you go. That's what I'm going to do.
I love it. And don't forget the radio show every Saturday. Easy to get to. How do they do it?
KOMC.com/player. And if you're in Branson, Missouri, or the area close to it, it is my 100.1 KOMC FM, where I play the 80s, 90s, 2K, and today, and I get to choose the music I play.
I knew you'd get this in there somewhere. You're never going to give me a break.
There's a few things that I always do. I always play back-to-back Journey.
Yes.
You'll probably hear more 80s and 90s. It's just because what I grew up with. But I do know that I have people literally saying now, letting me know that they listen to my Saturday radio show and they dance around their house. They bounce all over the place on their boats on the lake. And it's a blast to know that people are really enjoying the music that I grew up with, I fell in love with, and I play. And there's a little bit of today in there as well. We need to keep the Gen Zers going.
Okay.
And I don't want to lose they listening to this as well. But my show, The Magic of Dreams, is all about following your dreams and listening to others who've succeeded at doing just that, and hopefully changing your life for the better. I'm doing my best I can.
So a lot of great stories on there, just like you listen to on the podcast. And every Saturday morning from 10 to 1, that is Central Time. And we have all the details on how to listen in the show notes. So you got to check it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us this week on Nothing Happens Until You Dream, starring Rick Thomas and featuring Tammy Trujillo, and is based on Rick Thomas's best-selling book, The Tiger Whisker, available on rickthomas.com. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We'd love for you to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. And check us out on Patreon for exclusive members-only content. Stay up to date with Rick and Tammy at nothinghappensUntilYouDream.com. Remember, you must follow your dreams, not only for yourself, but for the rest of our future. We'll see you on the next episode.